Hello. Hello. Welcome to Wrestling Color Podcast. Do your due diligence. Do your clicks. All right. This pod is a thought from commentator Oman76. I appreciate him or her because they really put a lot of thought and effort into this discussion on Tessa Blanchard. It's under You Canceled Yourself. They gave me a lot of different perspectives, and it came down to essentially redemption. So this is really quick, okay? This is going to be a really quick podcast. It's just a question of redemption and who deserves. So obviously I don't own a wrestling company. Obviously I'm not nobody's boss, but I can fully say comfortably, if I did own a wrestling company, if I was somebody's boss, there's just some things that I'm not going to put up with. Spitting on people purposely. Whether she's spitting on a mat or something like that, because The Rock is a habitual spitter. Like, he spits everywhere. That, I get that. Everybody's on board with that. But if you're literally bringing up phlegm from your gut to spit on someone and make them feel less than loathing you, I really don't see where a redemption would happen, because that is a cognitive thought. To spit on someone, you have to cognitively make the decision that I'm going to transfer this spit out of my mouth onto this person. To call people out their names, you have to literally make a cognitive decision to do that. It's like roasting. When you're roasting somebody or doing the dozens or snapping, whatever generation you're from, it's all the same. You got to look at the person first. And then you play on their insecurities. Not that I'm saying that the girl in Tessa Blanchard's situation, La Rosa Negra, is insecure about her Africanness or her African features or anything like that, or being of African descent and Latina. It's the fact that you had to pick something that someone cannot fucking control to make fun of them about, and then you use the literally the most volcanic ass racial slur you could possibly use on them. Now, everybody can go back and forth with me in the comments. They can say, well, that's not true. If the girl is apologizing, then something happened. And if she's apologizing to that, then that's happening. That is just a basic. It's not subjective here. This is an objective issue. Something happened that was along the racial lines. These two ladies made up. The picture is right there. Okay? With that being said, someone posted in this comment section as well, redemption stories only work if someone does something to redeem themselves. Passively letting time march on and waiting for some type of collective amnesia to kick in ain't it. That right there, and that is from Simone Stevens, 1936. That right there is it. Redemption stories only occur when someone actively does the work. For example, the guy from Papa John's, right? He was using the N-word. So Papa John's went ahead and got Shaquille O'Neal. After they got Shaquille O'Neal, Papa John's went through the roof. But the guy who was using the N-word, which is the owner of Papa John's, or the creator, he claimed he went to rehab. I didn't know there was rehab for racism, but okay, fine. Then he comes back and he's mad that Shaquille O'Neal is black and they put him as the face and he's pandering. Sir, you went on a racist tirade for absolutely no fucking reason. Another redemption story. Let's talk Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan right now could have had one of the greatest redemption stories of all times. This man is a philanderer. He is a serial cheater. He is incestuous in the term. If you ever watch Hogan Knows Best or Brooke Knows Best, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. He is incestuous as fuck with his daughter. He babies his son who killed everybody. Okay? He lies. He fucked over his colleagues. Okay? And then you went on a whole racist tirade because your daughter is fucking a black dude. Did he redeem himself? No. It seems like the only reason why Hulk Hogan was even saying anything is because it got all let out during that whole Bubba Love debacle, where he got a very large sum of money because the guy put all those videos and stuff of him cheating on his wife with his dick out. If you want to see Hulk Hogan's dick, it ain't big. Newsflash. And he's fucking the Bubba Love's girlfriend and cheating on his wife and shit. Okay? Hulk Hogan, Terry Bonella, is not a nice man. But all of that could have been quelled if he would have sincerely said, listen, y'all, this is what was going on. This is what happened. There is no excuse for racism. None. I don't know. I was charged. Make something make sense for people who felt some kind of way for you to be talking about black people like that. We didn't do shit to you. Ain't that your argument? We didn't do it. We didn't do it. But somehow he is still shoved in front of us, and anybody who brings it up has to sit there and be like, well, that happened this long ago. You got to deal with it. Where's the redemption story in that? Hulk Hogan was just in the news. Just in the damn news. Now, what would be the story on this? Apparently, from what I understand, Hulk Hogan had a party or some type of function, and he wanted quote unquote Hogan's girls. We'll just call them Hogan's girls, which is kind of like Hooters girls, right? Okay, so it was a black girl went down. She got pictures and stuff. Black girl went down to the Hooters or whatever, the Hogan's Club. She did one night of work. The next day, they called her and said, we don't need you no more. Then she's on the internet and she sees these two white girls who are now Hogan's girls. So she said, well, what the fuck is that about? Is it because he just realized that I'm black, that he doesn't want me to be there? Then I'm looking at this like, who the fuck don't know how Hulk Hogan works? Did she not see who killed WCW? Did she not see what Hulk Hogan did to Booker T? Did she not see what Hulk Hogan is all about? But then I had to pause because the girl's a young girl. So she probably doesn't know. All she knows is Hulk Hogan is a wrestler, the WWE, and he's revered. She probably don't know this motherfucker's history. But that is what assumed because your reputation precedes you. And Hulk Hogan never had a redemption story. So, with that being said, here's an update to the article while I got it here, July 9th, 2024, from SE Scoops. Real American Beer said Hulk Hogan did not fire Ambassador for being black. Okay, they went on to say, Essence Janai made the accusation against the two-time Hall of Famer that he fired her after learning she was a black woman. Janai shared images of herself with Hulk Hogan and Real American Beer, proving that she had been connected to the holster at one time. Hogan has not commented publicly on the accusations against him. Similarly, WWE has not made a public statement on accusations. A spokesman for Real American Beer said, we are deeply troubled by the false rumors circulating on social media that a brand ambassador hired a third-party marketing agency was terminated by Hulk Hogan for racial reasons. Real American Beer simply terminated a short-term relationship with the third-party marketing agency. Hulk Hogan was not involved in that decision, and race was not a factor. We are in communication with the agency in an attempt to clear misunderstanding and incorrect information, and believe this is a false statement to be withdrawn. Again, 2007, inflammatory. 2015, inflammatory. 2018, appearances, inflammatory. No one wants to be bothered. Why? Because Hulk Hogan has never fully had the proper redemption story. If you're gonna, again, like the commenter said in a beautiful way, passively letting time march on and waiting for some type of collective amnesia to kick in ain't it. Saying stuff like, well, it happened so long ago, you need to get over it, is not the way to give closure to other people in a redemption story. Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen Dream, that's a redemption story. This man has went on one of the biggest apology tours for anybody who wanted to listen to him. This man is easing back into the ring. He just had a wrestling match supposedly out in the Bahamas, hosted by Mark Henry. Mark Henry even said, give that man another chance. Okay? Hell, y'all was in the comments talking about Jackson Riker. Who, give him another chance. But you cannot like a person because of their political views. Well, some people's political views say a lot about him. Although there was more to the story as to why Jackson Riker got put out of the WWE, it wasn't just because of his political views. This guy decided to make political statements at the height of racial tensions and political discourse, and completely disregarded all of his fellow wrestlers of color, and so he got ran down. That's what happened. Same thing goes with Lars Sullivan. Because everybody found out Lars Sullivan was a homosexual, which is not a problem. This motherfucker going on a whole homophobic, racial ass rage. That you boning niggas in a damn shower room ain't got nothing to do with nobody. It came out. But you attacking people is not how you start your redemption story. People just like Medusa said, it's people who killed people. No one is giving Chris Benoit redemption. The motherfucker's a murderer. Jimmy Superfly Snooker. A word on the street is he killed the woman, but his daughter's still there. You can't lay it at the feet of the daughter. I also think that WWE, that was one of the contingencies to cover up the killings, to make sure that the family's taken care of. Because what would Tamina do? Because she ain't wrestled in I don't know how long, but she's still getting a nice little piece of change to function. Stone Cold ain't never had a redemption story. I don't remember Stone Cold coming out talking about, my bad, y'all, I beat the shit out of Deborah because I just overtook my character so much that she was talking, and so I had to put the boots in my paws to her. A lot of people think, again, because time marches on, that the injury to the person marches on too. That's not how it works. So to wrap this up, because I don't want this to be long, a redemption story requires the person who's looking for redemption to actually put the work in and bring that body of work to the person that they're looking redemption from. That is how that works. So Tessa Blanchard and all of the kids looking for a second, third, fourth chance, that's not for me to say. If it was my wrestling promotion, absolutely not. Tessa Blanchard could not come into my ring. Because it's just not one. It's a plethora of people who have spoke on her behavior. Something is off. Can Patrick Clark come? He did the work. Why not? He did the work. Sky Hall. Drug use, alcoholic. His redemption story he got with Diamond Dallas Page. And they helped him with the DDP yoga. He's been helping a whole lot of people. I think he helped Jake the Snake too. And their redemption story. And they're easier to work with because they took the time to do the work to get back on their feet. They're not the same mean, nasty, drunk druggards that everybody had to deal with. Booker T went to jail. Said, it ain't happening to me no more, came right out. MVP went to jail. It ain't happening to me no more, came right out. He even worked with one of the corrections officers at the jail he was working with. Okay? Like, everyone, in order to come out on the other side of a redemption story, you got to put the work in. Shit, the Usos, both of them had DUI arrests. And look, Jay on top of the world right now. I ain't never heard nothing else about Jay drinking and driving or dealing with drinking at all. I don't think Jay drink no more. So I'm going to say all that to say this. Redemption stories are fantastic in pro wrestling. We can name a whole bunch of them. But again, going back to the previous commentators eloquently put, passively letting time march on and waiting for some type of collective amnesia to kick in ain't it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the redemption stories and hit me in the comments later.